Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. Glad to have all of you with us. We are recording this earlier this morning, so just a few hours before you're watching this, so we can't take your calls. You can comment. We may not be able to respond to you real time, but comment away as we go through the show. And again, we appreciate all of you that join us each and every day here for your lunch hour. Faith, good to see you today. You've been on the road this weekend, and you've had a great weekend. And we had a great weekend up here in these parts. The weather was gorgeous. I think you guys had similar weather down in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I did. Good to see you. Yeah, it was a beautiful weekend, a lot of fun, a busy weekend. But yeah, I've been in New Orleans for the past since Friday, so now I'm in Hattiesburg. But yeah, it's been so much fun. Had a great time. New Orleans it's okay for a couple days. I'm ready to get back to Auburn though.
I love New Orleans. You know that. I've told you that 100 times. It's the food, the atmosphere. I know some people are a little bit skittish in New Orleans, but man, the French Quarter, and it never gets old to me. But you're right; it's all in moderation. You can get overdosed on New Orleans and want to get back to your house, your own bed, all that kind of stuff. So it's calling after a while. But glad you had a good weekend. I was at A-Day this past Saturday, and I'll go through that. Kind of bounce some things off you here this morning. Auburn baseball with a huge sweep of LSU. This team just keeps getting better. It's a combination of pitching, hitting, but really the pitching, and I know we'll dive into this a little bit later on in the show, but the pitching really is what failed Auburn last year, and it's what's winning games for Auburn this year. And, I think the bats were fine last year. I just could not get the timely out, or you walked too many batters, or, it was always something out of the bullpen that couldn't finish a game. But so far, outside of that one series sweep against Georgia, Auburn's won every series, and then it doesn't get any easier. You got to go on the road to the newly crowned number one team in the country, Texas. So you just beat the number 3 team, swept them. So now your reward is you get to go play Texas, which is number 1. Hey, but look, this is just another challenge for this team.
Right.
And I think a good opportunity for them, Faith, to go and show they belong up here in the top echelon of college baseball.
Yeah, and we saw former player Chris Stanfield, who transferred from Auburn to LSU, and he was saying in a press before the game that it's all business on the field, and they're just going to go and play ball. He loves them still and talks to him a lot, but yeah, I think he definitely thought that LSU was going to take it away and take it home. But a huge weekend for Auburn, and being at home, able to beat the number 3 team is a big step for them, because, again, like you said last year, they struggled with their pitching. And I think we saw this from this weekend, and even last weekend with Alabama, that they've kind of overcome that like hump that they were struggling in the pitching. So a huge win for them.
Huge win. We'll talk more about it a little bit later in the show, but I want to start and roll through majority of the show about A-Day and spring practice. And first of all, I thought the format was really good. we had Jason on earlier this morning with us on the podcast, and he and I both agreed that we were walking off the field going to the press room, and he said, "Man, I enjoyed that more than any A-Day." And I said, I agree with you. They broke it down like a regular practice in the periods, and so you got to see a lot of individual work. You got to see some skeleton drill stuff, and then at the end of A-Day, they got in that red zone type situation where they were able to play the red zone lockout, where the defense was able to score points and offense was able to score points, and they kind of had a OT period at the end. So there was I like the feel of it. There were several guys out that we already know what they can do, and it was precautionary. Connor Lew, too tall. On the defensive side, Keldra Fault, the same guys that you and I were seeing, in practice were being held out. No Jackson Arnold, because when we were at practice the other day, he tweaked his hamstring a little bit. You and I chose not to really say anything about it. And again, it was more precautionary. Could he have gone? Yeah. Was there any reason to risk that? No, there wasn't. But then you didn't see in the one-on-one stuff a lot of Malcolm and Eric Singleton and some of those guys. I know Malcolm still nursing a little bit of a shoulder, but you couldn't tell it in the punt return and then the running back drills. He kind of was running some running back drills. I told you that earlier on Saturday. He was with the running backs a little bit, and he made some unbelievable catches in the skeleton drill. So, but you got an opportunity to see some other guys that maybe wouldn't have gotten those reps as much with those guys in place. So that's kind of where I want to start. I got to see a lot of those young guys, Faith. And, I mean, this is a roster that I think looks like it can compete at the highest level now.
Who did you see that was, I guess, the most shocking or that we've seen at practice some but really stood out at A-Day?
I'm going to start with Perry Thompson. I thought, a lot of people have been wondering about Perry Thompson and where he fits in with this team and with the depth of this wide receiver room. And I don't think there's any question who the three starters are going to be. I think Eric Singleton coming in the portal from Georgia Tech. You and I were very impressed with seeing him in practice. We also saw him get tweaked a little bit right in front of us. And I kind of looked at you and I said, that was kind of a low tackle, and he kind of limped off a little bit. Then they kind of shut him down after that. But he'll be a starter. Malcolm will obviously be a starter coming off the freshman year he had, and Cam Coleman. I mean, Cam Coleman's he's an elite receiver. He's one of the elite receivers in college football. So there's your three starters. So that's three pretty dang good wide receivers. And then what happens after that? Well, Horatio Fields, Perry Thompson, Bryce Kane, Sam Turner. I even saw Cameron King make some really good plays, and Jason and I talked about that. But it was Perry's day to shine. I thought Perry, it was good for him. And you and I we're kind of chatting about that, and we're concerned, would he be a guy that might jump in the portal? And he's not. I think he's a guy that is excited for the upcoming year. And Coach Freeze talked about you don't just come in and get anointed in a lot. And he wasn't saying that derogatory toward Perry or anybody in particular. He was just saying sometimes you got to develop. And he was talking about DK Metcalf and some of the guys in the past that have had to redshirt and wait their turn. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. But I think in this day and age of college football, Faith, if you don't jump on the field immediately, you feel like, you're wasting time. And
you're jumping in the portal if you're not jumping on the field. Yeah.
And that's detrimental to you, because we've seen a bunch of guys hop around all over the country and they get the same result. They think, I'm going to go over here and become the guy. Well, you still got to fight through the same things there that you're fighting through here. And so just because you're transferring all over the place doesn't mean that you're going to automatically become the man at that place. So I think he's developed. He looks better physically. And I think he's going to get his chance. I mean, but that's what you want. You want to be on a team that is deep. You want to be on a team that gives you a chance to go out and compete for SEC titles and national championships, or at least make the playoffs. But I was impressed with Perry. I think a lot of people were as well. I also was impressed with Horatio Fields. Really the first time any of us had a chance outside of practice to see him in kind of real game situations. So another big physical receiver. Auburn's going to be hard to defend, Faith. You talked about that, last week, I think, when we were talking about receivers. These guys, whether from a speed standpoint or just a physically dominating demeanor, makes it a difficult cover for any defense out there.
Yeah, it does. And it all starts with the offensive line too. So kind of give me your thoughts, give me what you saw, and if there's anything that you think could be different.
Yeah, I think, finally we look like an offensive line group that belongs in the SEC. We also have depth that when you have a guy that, and we don't want anybody to go out, but, you have a guy that you can slide in a true position. Like if your left guard goes out, then you have a backup left guard to come in and take that place. You're not taking a right tackle and sliding him over to left guard and then moving somebody over to right tackle and,
Playing ring around the positions.
That's it. I mean, and you're allowing those guys to concentrate on one position and get better at that position. And so Auburn hasn't had a lot of depth at offensive line for a long time. And I'll talk about that when we come back from our first break here in just a minute. But I like the look of this offensive line. Obviously, Connor Lew didn't participate. Too Tall was not in very much at all in anything this spring. But Dylan Wade, Jeremiah Wright, and then big Xavier Chaplin, coming in from Virginia Tech. Also like Mason Murphy, the transfer from USC. Going to have some opportunities to see some guys. They're big guys, man. They look like they belong at that position. So come back. I'll talk some more about our depth on that, Faith, when we get back from our first break. But everybody stay tuned. A lot more to come here on the Monday edition of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
there's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Have you heard? The Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle just officially reset the bar. With track-tuned suspension and a comfortable chassis, plus a torquey 776cc parallel twin engine with quick shift. This bike won't compromise. And with qualified buyers getting as low as 1.99%, financing for 36 months, neither will you. Head into Adams Motorsports in Montgomery to experience the Suzuki GSX 8R, the new standard of sport. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check out the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. Make the savings drive to Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. We appreciate all of them so very much for being our corporate partners here on the program. Faith, we were talking about Auburn's A-Day. Let me go back. I think the crowd was pretty good.
Yeah, you said it was about, what, 15,000?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than that. I mean,
Okay.
just along the lower bowl, and you know, it was a beautiful day. It was free, so it didn't cost anybody anything to come. And you know, I know it was a little bit different of a look that most people were accustomed to seeing, because it wasn't a true lineup kickoff, play 4 quarters or however, a running clock. But I think it was neat for people to see a practice, you know, and really kind of how a practice goes down. But yeah, the weather was great. I thought the atmosphere was awesome. And, you know, we talked about it on the podcast this morning, kind of got that old feel come out on the field, players, autographs, everybody. And I thought Coach Freeze, you know, told the team, he said, look, we got the best fans in the country. They show up for stuff like this. You know, y'all have a great off season, but it starts today by going out here and showing these fans how much you love them and appreciate them. And he said, go treat our fans right. And of course they did. And you saw the players interacting with the kids and stuff. And, you know, that's a part of that, Faith, I think is neat for them, because now they're put up on a pedestal. I mean, you got to think, a lot of these are still kids themselves. And then now they're getting put up on a pedestal from younger kids and wanting their picture taken or wanting their autograph and stuff like that. I thought the environment was really good.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing now. And I can't imagine the ego that is boosted from you know, being put at that level of just that pedestal, how important you feel. So I think that's definitely a big.
You get that all the time, Faith. What are you talking about? People come up and ask you for your autograph all the time.
Oh, yes, Brett, you do all the time.
That's
No,
right.
I feel like
That's
it's
right.
only to sign receipts now. So, but yeah, I think that's such a special thing. And I think a lot of them will appreciate it later on, even if they didn't on Saturday, which I don't think anyone didn't. But
Oh, yeah, they did.
I think a lot of them will think about it and how cool it was for them to do that at 18, 19 years old. Yeah, but definitely a different view of A-Day now because of just how college sports are in today, and You don't want to showcase your best athletes. So you don't know if they're going to head out. So yeah, it's definitely a different time, but you and Jason, you both said that you liked it more. And that was honestly shocking to me.
I liked it because it just had a more laid back feel. And it's crazy to think just a few years ago, everybody was clamoring to get their 8A game on TV. Oh, who's getting the primetime ESPN midday Saturday 8A and then on the SEC network. And even if it wasn't live, it was shown on replay at some point in time. And now it's like, oh, stay away from, we don't want any cameras. Nobody come televise this thing. So it's kind of flipped on its head. College football is flipped on its head, really in a lot of different aspects. I know we'll talk about some other things here a little bit later on in the program that doesn't really pertain to Auburn specifically right now. Could down the line, you never know with the way college football is going. But going back to the scrimmage, the A-Day, the practice, whatever you want to call it, we brought up on the podcast this morning how long it had been since Auburn had, the gaps between having a top-tier offensive lineman drafted. And we've had several guys here and there. But for the most part, the last elite offensive lineman we had that was drafted was Braden Smith. And I mean, if you want to know why Auburn hasn't performed up to par and up to standard and to the level that we all expect, that's all you got to say. I mean, when you mix a Jack Driscoll in and a Sean Coleman and some guys that were 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th round guys, but the last time you had a sure enough stud offensive lineman was Braden Smith. I mean, that guy's been in the NFL how long now? That should – and you're playing in the toughest conference in the country, and that's the last time you had a really top-ranked offensive lineman. It's amazing Auburn's done what it's done, Faith.
Absolutely. I always compare it to a chicken with its head cut off running around in the back of the field, because the offensive line, it starts there. It starts with the offensive line letting the quarterback stay safe to make a play happen. And we've seen in the past that our quarterbacks they've either come out of high school really, really good, or they've transferred and they were good at another school and they get to Auburn and they can't perform. They can't perform the way that they were supposed to, which to me is a true definition of it starts with the offensive line. If the offensive line is not making sure they're doing what needs to happen, plays aren't going to get done. It doesn't matter the amount of talent we have on the field. So it's good now that we finally have a deep offensive line where we're not going to be playing ring around the positions, because one guy goes down, everybody shifts. And that plays a huge, huge role in the offense in general. And so, hearing that is a solid front line on the offensive side is a really, really good feeling for going into this fall.
Xavier Chaplin is a massive human being. I sent a picture over. Mason Murphy looks really good. Connor Lew out, too tall out. You got 2 NFL linemen there that didn't even participate in the spring. So, you were able to do some really good things. Jason and I talked about it on the podcast this morning about the running game. I'll hit that up when we come back from this break. But the running game is successful because the offensive line's doing their job up front. And so got some guys. We'll dive into the running back situation. We'll dive in to a little bit more offensive line talk when we come back. But, again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here on the Auburn Blitz every day at noon. And we will be back right after this with a lot more.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Going to the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen. Can't thank them enough, Faith, for what they do for our program. Also, one of our partners here on the program, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. It is Easter weekend coming up, and this is Holy Week. It's a great week. Had a great Palm Sunday service this past Sunday. Just really, really good. It looks like the weather's going to be great this weekend. So
You need to get over to Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. They've got a lot of Easter specials going on. The beef tenderloin, the mashed potatoes, and the fresh green beans salad and rolls. 4 people, $125. 8 people, $245. Do the math on that. Look at what you're getting, and then see if you can go find a quality food at that price. Also, the pork tenderloin, same sides and all, $75 for 4 people. Pork tenderloin, mashed potatoes, fresh green bean salad, and rolls. Give me a break. Seriously?
Try going out and finding that deal.
You're not going anywhere finding that deal. You're not going to a fast food restaurant. Go to a fast food restaurant and let everybody just order what they want. Okay? 4 people, and see what your total is. Also, you can get a spiral ham or Boston butt pre-cooked. 10 to 12 people it serves, $150. That includes 2 sides and rolls to go with that. We can't say it enough. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, great partners here on the program. Great food. We love it over there. Faith loves it when her parents come to town because she knows she's going to eat really well from Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. So go check them out on East Glen. And if you're in Montgomery, check them out in Pepper Tree. All right, continuing on with A-Day recap. Running game. Really like Damari Alston and Jeremiah Cobb and Alvin Henderson. I think Alvin Henderson, as Jason said this morning, you can already see him morphing into a different player body-wise. The early enrolling has helped him. You got Darrell Robinson that didn't really go through anything in spring, so he's going to be added to the backfield. Did see Jarquez Hunter there at A-Day. When you look at him versus some of these other guys, you're like, man, we're going to miss this guy. But seriously, I think it's going to be running back by committee, and I think that's a good thing. You've got to be able to rotate guys in and out. And do we have a guy that can tote it 20 times a game? Probably so, in Damari. But then you're going to get Jeremiah Cobb and hopefully Darrell Robinson and Alvin Henderson in the mix, and they're all going to have key roles in how they play in this backfield. So, you're right. It starts with offensive line and being able to block for them up front. We talked about it on the podcast, thought the running game had a good day Saturday, Faith.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a little bit of Damari Alston in the last couple of years here and there, but what I've really noticed, and I wasn't at A-Day, but what I've noticed in practice and everything is he is that bowling ball that you can't stop, and he doesn't even pick up his feet anymore, just go straight down. He does not stop moving his feet, and I feel like that's going to make the biggest difference in the running back game for sure.
Absolutely. Again, falling forward, taking on contact and pushing the pile forward. I saw him do that several times on Saturday. So I'm fine with where we are in the running game. Darrell Robinson will come in. He's a bigger back. You need that in a backfield like we have with Alston and Cobb, and he brings a little bit more of that maybe 4th down short yardage situation where you got to move the chains. So I think again we haven't even seen him that much since he's been at Auburn, but we'll see him a lot in the summer as we get ready to head into fall. All right, let's flip over and talk about the defense. Again, lines of scrimmage are so important. Love our defensive line. You're going to have Malik Blockton coming back, and then Bobby Jamison Travis, I think, has worked his way into the starting position in the nose tackle. But you got a lot of young guys that are going to be backing those guys up. Antonio Coleman, Jordan Crawford. You got a transfer in Dallas Walker that came in. So you got some depth there. But as we've said, and if people have watched, you can't ever have enough depth here, Faith, not on the defensive front.
No. And I think we're going to have to go out there. We've said this a bunch, but we're going to have to go out there and get some other guys, because just like we don't want to be playing ring around the rosy on the offensive line, we don't want to be doing anything like that on the defensive line. We saw how defense really saved us a lot last year in a lot of those games. And
or at least gave us a chance to win, and some of them we didn't.
Right. So it's crucial that we go out there and we get somebody. Jason was saying that, everybody could be looking to add somebody on
Everybody's going to take an extra interior lineman.
Right. Why wouldn't you? So it's going to be important that if anybody does come up and enter the transfer portal, that we do what we can to get them to come to Auburn, because we're going to need them.
And 100%. I think when you look at depth, quality depth, not being able to lose a step or an edge when your first guy comes out to your second and even your third guy in a position. It's a battle of attrition inside. It's being able to survive in the fourth quarter. Are you as fresh as you possibly can be? Everybody's starters are good in this league. Okay, Vanderbilt has great starters, but where you win championships and you win key games is through depth, and especially on the defensive side of the football at linebacker and on the defensive front. So continuing to build that depth there on the defensive line will be a key. I know some of you out there disagree with some of your comments that you've had over the past week or so. I'll take as many defensive linemen as we possibly can get. And are you going to go out and get an all-SEC guy like Jason said? Probably not. Can you go get a piece, like I said last week with Philip Bleedy and Isaiah? Jason said the same two guys I said this morning. But they were great pieces, and they gave you enough snaps to kind of give your other guys some rest. And I'm not saying they were just throw-in pieces, but they were quality enough when they came in that you didn't have a significant drop-off. So I'll talk some more about that, too, when we come back. We're up against another break here on the Auburn Blitz. Stay tuned. A lot more to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left on today's show. Again, want to thank Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, 9 locations here in Central Alabama for all your home improvement needs. Building supply needs, everything, go to Russell Do-It Center. 9 locations here in Central Alabama. J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. Talk about seeing trucks up and down the road every day. I see all the J.A. Smith Construction trucks and equipment everywhere. They've got projects going on everywhere. Residential or commercial, no job is too big or too small for them. Call on them. They came out a few months ago and delivered a big old load of sand so I could top dress my yard. I have a son that's in turf science. You think he'd come home and help me top dress it, but no, he leaves me to do it. So he's too busy taking care of the fields and stuff at Auburn to worry about the yard here at home. But anyway, they can come do that, or they can come clear out a huge commercial lot for you, whatever it is that you're looking at. Call on J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. And Sensa Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sensa Green, right, Faith?
Absolutely. We love Sensa Green.
Love Uncle T-Bone.
Uncle T-Bone.
I think he is Mr. Green, right? I think
I called him Mr. Sensa Green, and he was saying that was about right. So
I think he is Mr. Green. Hey, saving thousands of dollars on new installs. Man, they've got green dollars, green bucks, I think what they call it. Check out Sensa Green. They will come and install a new carrier unit, and they'll save you money on your bill too, because it's going to be more efficient all the way around. So make sure you call on Sensa Green. We've got great partners here on the program. All right, so DJ Durkin can flat coach. They get that guy. Like I was standing on the defensive side during the last couple of periods, and man, there was a call. And if you don't think both sides wanted to win that little red zone, whatever they call it, red zone. What did I say it was? A red zone lockout. I think that's what it was. Like there was a call, and I don't know exactly what it was, but I think one of the defensive guys clapped their hands in the secondary. Well, they threw a flag for imitating a snap count. He lost his mind, and he got into it with one of the other guys on the offensive side, and he was pointing at him. And they never said, he just finally went, man, that's bull crap. Like, but I mean, I just love his intensity as a defensive coordinator, and our players take on his persona. And I think, Auburn locked him down in the offseason coming back as the D coordinator. There were some suitors out there for him. But, Faith, you said it just a minute ago. I mean, our defense carried us majority of the year, and they gave us a chance to win in every game. And that's all you can ask for. And now he's got even more depth, more talent on this defense. I love the way they fly around. Physically, we look the part. His intensity and the assistants on the defensive side, the way they coach it up, it just kind of gives me chills, man, to watch those guys because they're just so passionate about it, and they bring that. And you've got to play great defense in this league.
There's no doubt about that. It's the coaches that's where all of the players get the energy from. And so when he's getting excited, his guys are going to get excited. And we've seen that a lot in practices throughout the week, how energized everybody is and how excited they get when the offense or the defense does something good. It's a great competition banter that everybody has because that's what you want to see. And so hearing that is, that's special because he really pours into each and every player. He's got so much talent this year. And he had a lot in the past, but there's a lot of talent, a lot of new talent, young talent coming in. And so that's going to be a huge piece of this whole puzzle for Auburn to become the best team that they can, that we haven't seen in a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of taking on that persona of DJ Durkin as Keldrick Falk, even though we didn't get to see him in spring, but Amaris Williams. If you remember, Amaris Williams got in the portal briefly, and then Auburn was able to coerce him to come back and look like he was going to go back to North Carolina. But, man, just standing there watching Amaris Williams and how much he's grown from last year to this year in his style of play, in his effort. We had a chance to catch up with him after he was in the press room. He was one of the players that came in. I thought he had a great interview. We posted that on our Auburn Blitz, account on YouTube and also over on Instagram, I believe. I think I dropped that one in. If not, I'll drop that one in today. But got a chance to talk to him and Horatio Fields. Two guys I thought that got some really good work in, both offensively and defensively. But Amaris is a key part. And they talked about learning under Keldrick and what a great mentor he had been to him and teaching him. And Amaris, I thought, was showing his maturity and talking about how, in high school, you're the best player. You just go run up the field, tackle everybody. He said, you can't do that here. Now there's a lot more advancement and knowing what to do and what your assignments are. And you have to play at a high level while thinking about all that. And I remember talking to a former player a few years ago. I'm not going to mention his name, but he said that was one thing he was not doing well. He was thinking way too much, and it was taking away from his physical ability and his ability to just have instincts and react to the ball. But he said also, if you don't think about it and what your assignments are, you can run yourself clean out of a play and be out of position. So a lot of people think, just line up. It's who's fastest to the ball, who's strongest. It's not all about that. It's about scheme and knowing where you are. And that's why you see some guys sometimes, Faith, that maybe aren't as athletic as others that always make tackles. It's because their film study and their nose for the ball and being able to read tendencies gives them an edge. And so they're always a step ahead. Whereas maybe somebody with physical ability, maybe a little bit more talented, maybe he's out of position a lot of times because maybe they don't have that innate ability to pick up on tendencies on how an offense leans one way or the other, or something that tips you off on where a play's going. So there's a lot to process. And I think Amaris Williams kind of let everybody know that, we're all talented, but man, we got to come in and we have to learn the system. We have to learn how to react.
Absolutely. And we've talked about that on both sides of the ball, how important it is to fit in with the coaching system and see how well you gel and mesh with your guys. yeah, I think we've seen it a lot in the past of that they hang out outside of practice, and that helps build their team chemistry and their connectivity. So yeah, I think that's going to play a huge part this year as it did last year, but almost in a different kind of way.
I do too. Again, just because you didn't start, just because you didn't get the playing time you thought you needed last year, doesn't mean you're not a good player. It means that you maybe need to stay in a system and develop. And I think Amaris Williams is going to show everybody that getting in the portal wasn't the best thing for him. Maybe he did for a split second think it was, but sticking around, learning and getting better in a system where he doesn't have to start all over again will benefit him down the line. So, all right, up against another break. One final segment coming up here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Senza Green and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Everyone to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on this Monday. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. Weather's beautiful. It is Easter week as we head into Easter Sunday. So hope everybody has a wonderful week and stop and take in what a great week this is. Faith, closing out the show here, just finishing up talk with about A-Day. A couple more things that I'll add. I thought our linebackers looked really good, and in our secondary, we have an opportunity to have one of the best secondaries we've ever had, and in a long time, with Caleb Harris, Kay and Lee, Jay Crawford, Champ Anthony getting back healthy, and then you add Eric Winters and Anquan Fagans back there at free and strong safety. Anquan Fagans showed out again. He shows out every time he goes on the dang field, man, and this is not a coincidence. This is becoming the norm, and you have to pinch yourself and go, that kid's a freshman, man. He should still be in high school right now. He and Eric Winters both should still be at Thompson and Enterprise high schools. Instead, they're out here making plays all over the field and looking like a guy that's been in a SEC in an SEC team for 3 years. I mean, physically, that's what they look like.
And mentally with Anquan for sure. He's just has that IQ. He just knows what is going to happen.
Very instinctive.
Predict the future, basically, is what I think.
Maybe he can predict the future. If he can, I'd like to know. So I'd like to put a few bets on some things for sure. But yeah, I think kind of summing it up, I thought Auburn, and you heard Coach Freeze. I posted the interview on our YouTube page and all right after. I thought he said we had a great spring. Didn't really talk about our quarterbacks at all. That's kind of crazy because that tends to be the place everybody dives in. Deuce got all the reps pretty much. Jackson was held out because of the tweaked hamstring. Early analysis on Deuce Knight, he's going to be perfectly fine. Did he have to get used to the speed a little bit? Saturday he did. Held the ball a little bit too long a couple times. That's a learning thing. Glad he got the reps. He just learned what a lot of people learned coming out of high school that's elite. You can't do the things that you did a few months ago and get away with them anymore. Now, he's been good in practice about making decisions, getting the ball out of his hands, but maybe a little bit uncertain, going full speed in some of those drills, and it cost him, and he learned from it. But it's like he said, I posted that interview as well. Want to get them out of your system now. Want to get those mistakes out of your system now. So and he did, and I thought his attitude was great, and he's just got a great demeanor about him, Faith. I think he's a natural leader. He physically looks the part. I'm excited about him and Jackson Arnold heading into fall camp.
Yeah, and for Deuce, imagine how hard it is going and playing in front of 15,000 people.
And just in that big environment too.
Yeah, it's a lot different. The sound also is a lot different, which it'll be even more different when we actually get into the season. But yeah, it's impressive. And to know that he had that many reps in because Jackson Arnold wasn't in is great for him. So I think what you told me is that, everyone was impressed with what he was able to do.
Mm-hmm. Got some things to work on, which you would expect, but that's part of it. I mean, he's a freshman. He also looked like a 5-star too at times, and that's what you want. So, hey, look, if he came out there and lit everybody up, we said it on the podcast, you'd probably be concerned about the defense. You'd be like, well, what in the world's going on there? So, thought the defense made some really good plays. Thought the offense made some really good plays. It's what you want to see out of a team when you
this early.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. All right, a few things we want to get to. Auburn swept LSU in baseball. Huge sweep. I thought it got the whole tone of the weekend got started with Sam Dutton, the transfer from LSU. Got the starting nod on Friday night, and he's been a solid pitcher for Auburn on Friday night. It was a huge crowd. It rained a little bit. Auburn took advantage of, LSU not being able to capitalize with runners in scoring position. I sent you something over earlier this morning, Faith. Runners in scoring position, missed opportunities through 3 games. LSU was 2 of 9 in game 1, 1 of 10 in game 2, and 0 of 6. Through the 7th inning, they ended up, I think, getting a hit there late. So I think they were one of 7 in the last game. So what they end up with 4 hits with runners in scoring position, and they left a boatload of guys on base, and that has to do with the pitching. I mean, again, last year it was the opposite of that, not getting the guy out, walking him, giving up a crucial hit to lose the game, but the pitching came through. Solid performance all the way around, hitting and pitching and fielding. Swept the number 3 team in the country.
I know. When I was here in New Orleans, everyone was a lot of people obviously had their LSU stuff on, and I saw 2 people that had Auburn things on, said War Eagle to them. But yeah, a lot of people in their LSU stuff, and I didn't say anything. I just kept to myself, but it made me feel good internally knowing that we had just swept them, or the first couple days when we had won 1 or 2. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Very nice. Auburn, will take on Jacksonville State on Tuesday, tomorrow, and then head to Texas for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Number one Texas, 29-5, 13-2 in the league. So never gets easier. All right, before we get off, this Nico Imialiava stuff is ridiculous, man. Walks out of spring practice. Looks like Tennessee's parted ways with him. It's crazy, Faith. World we live in now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what we've said multiple times about how this college athlete world is a fully different thing now. It's just crazy that, yeah, he didn't go and show up to even meet with them. And I know we've said loyalty doesn't really exist anymore, but loyalty and respect to your team. So that was, I feel like that's a tough thing for Tennessee, but they seemed like they knew that was the route they were going to take after he didn't show. And yeah, he's going to find somewhere else to go. Maybe Oregon,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, here and
USC, so
I don't have anything against the kid, but here's the deal. If he were not to find a landing place, that would be a bold statement by all the colleges in the country saying, we're not gonna be part of this, even though you're a great player. And you know, Dan Lanning rumored to have called Josh Heupel and let him know that he was getting shopped around. You know, somebody's gonna pick him up. We all know that, and that's why this thing will never fix itself until some types of rules or regulations are put in place, because somebody's going to take a chance and they don't care what it looks like. And they don't care that he walked out and held a team hostage and demanded more money. Somebody will take a chance.
They just want to win.
They just want to win, and they'll do it at whatever cost. So, all right, we're out of time here on the Auburn Blitz. Again, we want to thank everybody that tunes us in each and every day here at noon. We really appreciate it. We will be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. Again, thanks to all of our partners out there. Go out there and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done that. And again, continue to spread the word about our podcast on every day at 8 o'clock. We'll be back with you then. And we'll be back with you here same time, same place tomorrow. For Faith, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you out. See you tomorrow.